first thing I want to do is take a quick poll. How many of you guys would agree that work or finances, or I should say, work, finances / money are key stressors in your life? How many guys would agree, right? Okay. So if you agreed that that was the case for you, you're not alone, because 75% of Americans surveyed stated that money and work were key stressors in their life. Okay? All right. So if that is the case for you, here's what I want to share about that. Recently, I started reading a book called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. The book is pretty remarkable. I know he wrote it some years ago, but like anything else, right? Sometimes you find a book that just, if you would have read it a few years ago, you got what you got out of it, but now, you're in a different place and you get so much more out of it. Well, that's not the case for me. This is my first time reading it. And I'm grateful for where I am, where I can really value and appreciate the perspective he brings to the whole financial game, right? Or understanding cash flow, right? So anyway, in this book, he walks you through the four, how many? 4 cash flow quadrants. There's E for employee, S for self-employed, B for a business owner, or I for investor. And he walked you through how if you want to go from E to S, S to B, B to I, or even E to B or E to I, or S to B or S to I, that there are some dramatic, that was a dramatic pause, dramatic shifts that you have to go through to make it. The thing that's blow away about this book is that it's like the first time that I've really heard, I feel like, a book on wealth or, I don't know, financial generation, right? Really address this core part of people that most of us get lost trying to figure out, right? This core part that has to do with the wealth and wealth creation, or whatever it is, whatever your game is, right? Depending on where you are, that it's really an inner game, right? And so anyway, there's more I want to do on this topic, but it's burning a hole in my chest trying to think through just how wrong I've been about, or I should say, how underestimated that principle is. That principle of inner creating the outer, right? I think I get it. I've always gotten it, of course, at the spiritual level, but really at this point in the book, he walks you through how it shows up. And I think he probably presents the most compelling case for how it shows up for everyday people like you and I, okay? All right. So that being said, here's what I want you to do, right? Because I'm going to spoil it at some point. Actually, there's really no spoiler alert, but I'm going to walk you through it if you haven't already read it or will read it. But here's what I want you to do for now. There's a couple things. Well, if you, like I said, a couple things. If you're old enough to remember, Jolly Ranchers in a flat plastic wrapper, right? And work and finances have been a major, at some point, and it may be an ongoing major source of stress, right, in your life journey into adulthood. Here's what I want you to do. You've got to take the Chill Code quiz, okay? The Chill Code quiz introduces you to a 4-step process that overwhelmed entrepreneurs, business owners, and yes, even professionals like some of you, that they turn to stress less, get more done, and grow their business, or find balance, or grow in their life, right? Critical thing I want to highlight here too that's mentioned in Kiyosaki's book, and then I'll wrap up, is for the first time over the past few months, I really dug a little deeper into the subject matter of stress and its implications on the human experience. And for the first time, I think I've come across inside of Kiyosaki's content the relationship, the true sort of like unapologetic, non-shaming relationship between stress in the human experience and financial mobility. There's a relationship between these two things. So anyway, I'm going to dig more into it. But for now, here's what I want you to do. Take the chill code quiz. Start on that journey for yourself. And at the end of it, there's an opportunity for you to take a training, a webinar actually, that allows you to shift your score, to really understand how to make that score shift. And when that score shifts, you actually start tapping into I'm going to call it like the mechanism, right, that Kiyosaki touches on. And so that's kind of what my recent revelation was and has been, and I'm ongoingly sort of editing, and I'm actually re-listening to the book because there's just so many things that are so rich and compelling that are presented in there about this relationship between the human experience of stress and the financial, your ability to move from those quadrants. So that's it. That's all I have. I'll leave some links below for you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the upcoming videos. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Talk to y'all soon.